Around the world are reports of giant humanoids. Most countries have their own versions of these creatures, and what's interesting is they've been allegedly witnessed for hundreds of years. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we take a look at 5 mysterious encounters with giant humanoids. Large humanoids seen on Skinwalker Ranch. Located southeast of Ballard, Utah, is a property that has become synonymous in the coming years as being a gateway into another world of impossible to explain occurrences and supernatural encounters. The property has been given the nickname of Skinwalker Ranch, and given the sheer number of encounters over the past few years, it's become known as a paranormal hotspot. Though there is still a heavy amount of debate surrounding the claims of people encountering Sasquatch-like creatures, it has become apparent that there appears to be a growing number of large humanoid-like creatures being seen in the region of Skinwalker Ranch, and these have left many wondering if the area has become a hotbed of fantastical and supernatural sightings. According to several witnesses, there have been claims of massive hairy Sasquatch-like humanoids that have been seen throughout the region. Though the accounts vary widely in claim, from some claiming that the creatures stand at 7 feet tall to others claiming they stand at more than 15 feet tall, there is no shortage of strange Bigfoot claims that have left many people believing that perhaps the large, hairy, ape-like humanoid is also moving into the area. This has led to a furious debate amongst those researching the ranch that believe that perhaps there is evidence of hairy humanoid-like creatures, but that this does not necessarily point to evidence to that of Sasquatch creatures growing throughout the region. Others believe that, with the growing numbers of Bigfoot sightings across North America, along with the number of Bigfoot hotspots across the state of Utah, that perhaps the skinwalkers and claims of dogmen and werewolves are nothing more than that of sightings of a Sasquatch population slowly growing across all of North America. As more reports of such creatures began to pile up, the researchers of Skinwalker Ranch began to include the theory that perhaps there is a growing population of Sasquatch responsible for the strange sightings, though a consensus on the matter hardly seems possible at this point in time. Dogman Report from Texas. One encounter with that of the Dogman comes from a personal story recorded in recent years that circle around their encounter that had occurred in the county of El Paso, located in Texas. This mysterious event happened more than 50 years ago. Back in 1968, an 11-year-old and his group of friends went out during the summer to play baseball at a nearby baseball field roughly 5 blocks away from Richmond Avenue in El Paso. As they were playing and it got late into the day, someone hit the baseball at a skewed angle and it shot off into the woods located nearby the baseball field. At this point, the sun had already set and it was well past dark. They were scared of leaving the baseball field in the event there were people outside waiting to do anything strange. The group of boys walked close to the fence and looked in the direction of the baseball, only to notice a strange man standing outside the fence with his back turned towards the boys. As the boys called to him and asked the man to help find the ball for them, he continued to ignore them and refused to turn around. Worried that the man was some kind of freak, one of the boys grabbed a nearby rock and threw it towards the direction of the man to get him to leave or turn around. After the rock fell silently to the side, the man dropped on all fours and seemingly transformed into a large wolf. This led to the boys shouting werewolf and running in the opposite direction of the creature. Without stopping, they ran all the way home and locked the door, sleeping over at a friend's house instead of walking miles back to their own houses. The Monkey Man of New Delhi. Going back a few years, there was a mysterious creature that terrorized the city of New Delhi. This happened in 2001, and many people were left with more questions than answers. In May of that year, stories began to circulate in New Delhi of a strange nocturnal creature. Not only this, but this creature was harming the locals. Those who did happen to encounter the humanoid described it as looking like a huge monkey. After this, more individuals came forward about their encounters. The descriptions followed a similar theme. They described the creature as being around 4 feet tall, covered in thick black hair, and being aggressive to humans. Strangely, reports also suggested the being wore a type of metal helmet, had metal claws, pants, glowing red eyes, and 3 buttons on its chest. Of course, this caused confusion over what this could have been, Before these reports, it was suggested it was either a human or a monkey, but now it's not known what it was. Some people reported being scratched, and 2 people were seriously injured trying to get away from the monkey man. After multiple reports, police issued artist impressions in an attempt to catch the creature. Shining a bright light in the monkey man's face was said to ward him off, as it renders his vision ineffective. To this day, there is no official answer for what these people were seeing. Some have suggested that what was being witnessed could have been an experiment or an undiscovered species of monkey. The Grafton Monster. In the small town of Grafton, West Virginia, strange reports of a hulking monster roaming around the countryside sparked interest amongst locals looking to uncover the truth behind the claims. Back in the 1960s, many residents claimed that they could see a wandering lonely figure that was said to be similar in design to that of a grotesque Bigfoot creature or that of the elusive skunk ape roaming in the region of the town of Grafton. Eyewitness statements claim that the creature stood somewhere between 7 to 9 feet tall, with slick pale skin similar to that of a seal. While some witnesses claimed that the monster was headless when viewed from the back, others have claimed that the creature had a head down close to its chest with a large humpback blocking the view of the head from behind. Many farmers in the area have reported cattle going missing due to the creature, as well as hearing a low whistling sound before an attack by the monster itself. Given the large amount of sightings in the town and the focus of the residents to get rid of themselves of the creature back in the 1960s, the creature was referred to as the Grafton Monster and was the main focus of farmers and paranoid residents looking to save their town from a terrible monstrosity. Fortunately enough, over the next few years, sightings of the creature died down and eventually stopped altogether. Today, the creature is remembered only in myth. Sasquatch and Yeti. All around the world are strange reports of large ape-like humans that are referred to by locals as Sasquatch, Bigfoot, or the elusive Yeti. At the height of the Yeti craze and the fascination the public had on the strange and elusive creature, the Daily Mail worked to gather their own evidence and make cutting-edge reports on finding the creature themselves. After only 3 years since the photographs were taken by Eric Shipton, the Daily Mail sent out an expedition team on the 19th of March in 1954 to go out to the same area the hikers had discovered compelling evidence of the creature and begin their research into uncovering the truth of the creation. The research team found strange evidence of the native local population having symbolic paintings of the Yeti, as well as myths as to what it could be, with many of the locals even claiming to have seen the creature on their hikes. When the mountaineering leader John Angelo Jackson made the trek up the mountain, he photographed overwhelming evidence of different unidentifiable tracks of flattened footprints from what appeared to be a large biped. These photographs, however, paled in comparison to the evidence the research team would soon uncover in their efforts to prove the existence of the creature. As they further investigated local myths and legends amongst the population at the base of the mountain, it appeared that as the locals warmed up to the researchers' inquiries, they began to reveal to them the evidence they had gathered of the creature on their own. The researchers were then taken to Pangbosh Monastery in the region and were told by those who lived there that they were in possession of the removed scalp from one of the Yeti creatures. The monastery then allowed the researchers to take the scalp back home for further scientific examinations that were made by Dr. Biswami Biswas. The doctor found conclusive evidence that the scalp belonged to no known animal at the time of its finding, and that it was not taken from an ape or bear anywhere near the region. Unfortunately, DNA evidence could not be taken from the specimen, as an unknown individual had the scalp completely bleached, and all that remains of the scalp are a collection of cut-up hairs that can be examined microscopically. But what do you make of these giant humanoid encounters? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.